Hello and welcome to the first inaugural episode of ROCKTOP5, my video podcast on YouTube. Top 5 lists, all things rock. Could be anything from the craziest stuff about rock, the past, the present, the future. All top 5 lists, your favorites, what you think is the best, anything. Now in this one, I'm going to have a list, and I'll post this, and then the next week's list, I'll put up the topic, and you guys can put all your comments on Facebook or Instagram. I'll read them, and then I'll do mine. So that's how this is going to go. The first, let me just say I'm Frank Joseph. I was in a band called The Fearless for 20 years, put out a ton of records, played all over the country, had some hits, kinda, and I'm still playing solo and with my high school band, The Fuzz. Go figure. Anyway, let's get to it. But before I get to my list, let's see what's in the news in the rock world. What's going on in the rock world right now? Kiss. Let's start with Kiss. Why not? Kiss is playing a show in Vegas at the end of the year, and they're playing again. Now we all know the last show was at the Garden, the Makeup, the End of the Road tour on December 2nd of 2023. And this will be their first performance, no makeup. I think it might just be Gene and Paul and Bruce Kulick, a couple special guests, probably an unplugged thing. Gene said there's going to be tribute bands. It's gonna be like one of those old conventions they had before they put the makeup back on. So that's cool. Of course, fans are losing their mind. Eddie Trunk's losing his mind. That just when you think it's over, here they come again. Well, this isn't like that. They didn't say we're going back on the road after a farewell tour this time. They're playing one show so far, no makeup. I don't think they'll ever get back in the makeup and the costumes. These guys are too old to do that. As good as agile as they may be, enough is enough. So I'll keep you up to date on any more news on that. Today, another Off the Soundboard album came out from them, from the Asylum era in 1985. This is the first really clean, good bootleg I've heard, or any soundboard recording from this tour. They're not so great. It's a lot of filler. There's a bass solo, there's a drum solo, there's a guitar solo. I mean, it's a lot of filler. And they do the hits, they do songs off, the 80s records. It's okay. Paul's vocals aren't up to snuff. And Gene speaks, and not in his demon voice. He actually speaks, which I've never heard, ever. So, check it out. It's worth checking out, especially if you're a Kiss fan. Good versions of those 80s tunes, Tears Are Falling, and All Night is on there. Wish I didn't play that much. So check it out. What else? Foreigner, lead singer Kelly Hansen's gonna miss a lot of overseas shows due to scheduling. I don't know what else he's doing. Maybe I missed something. So they're gonna have what's this guy's name? Jordy Brown, and original singer Lou Graham's gonna hop up there. Now, if you saw the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you saw that Lou Graham came out and he sung with Kelly Clarkson. And I gotta say, the guy's still got pipes. He's another older guy. It was great to see him out there. So come out for a few songs, celebrate Foreigner, because there's no original members in that band, if you know. None. So basically they're a tribute band called Foreigner. But people want to see it. They want to hear the hits. They never had an identity. Nobody really knows what those guys look like. So, it's not like Kiss where, there's going to be makeup and the faces and stuff. So I guess if you want to see a tribute band, go see a Foreigner tribute band. If you want to see Foreigner, same difference. A little more money. But Lou Graham is back for a little while, so that's worth seeing. The Sex Pistols. They have a new singer, and they played All Never Mind the Bollocks in the UK, and now they're coming to the US. It's probably worth checking out, Johnny Rotten, we all know his story. He wants to let the legacy die. He's still got the rotten sense of mental instability at 70 years old, but whatever. Once a punk, always a punk. Who am I to say any different? So that could be cool. Check it out. I think they're playing in Brooklyn on September 27th. To be determined is the venue, so we don't know yet. Yes, are working on a new studio album. Why? Chris Squire's dead. John Anderson's not in the band. Why? More prog, more notes. There's not gonna be any catchy tunes on this thing. It's a self-indulgent project from old men. Honestly, do we need it? No. Was anything really that great after Close to the Edge? Maybe their number one hit, but that's it. And the Guess Who are back. The Guess Who. These guys, they have to be 80. But Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman got their little lawsuit settled. Now they're buddies again. He says they're going to play a 3-hour show with all their bands rolled into one, all the music. I don't know how these guys are going to do 3-hour shows. He's trying to compare himself to Bruce Springsteen. I mean, Bruce Springsteen's old too, buddy. He don't even do that, really. I don't know what, he doesn't do much anymore either. I mean, whatever. If they can do it, God bless them. Not happening until 2026. So these guys still have a year before that happens. So, hey, I hope it works out for them. I like the Guess Who. Bunch of great tunes, but, you know, do we need it? No. But do we need anything? All right, enough of the news. None of it was so great. Let's get to the first list of the first episode of the Rock Top 5. And this first inaugural Top 5 list is the top 5 most famous rock songs of all time. Now let me explain. They're not the best. They're not my favorite. These are, to me, any average anybody who never even knows what rock music means, or music in general, would know these songs. You hear a second of it. These are universal language. They're in our psyche, these songs. These are the songs that I don't know one person from 15 on that wouldn't know these songs. So, this is my opinion. All of these lists are my opinion, obviously. You'll give your opinions. They don't have to be favorites. They don't have to be the best. Could be either or. Could make it up on the spot. Next time, you send yours in. I'll read them. I'll tell you mine. But in this episode, here's how it starts out. This is how it started. So let's start from number 5. At number 5, while we're on the subject, I Was Made for Loving You from Kiss. From the 1979 album Dynasty. Do I have Dynasty handy? Somewhere around here. Here it is. Dynasty. Kiss Dynasty. 1979, their disco album, which it's not a disco album. There is rock disco songs, but most of it is just regular rock. It's a misconception. And honestly, it's not the worst album. It could be worse. They've made worse. But I Was Made for Loving You is the hit. The first song on the album, written by Paul Stanley, went to Studio 54, said I could do this. He did it. He got Desmond Child to help him write it, and the producer Vinnie Poncia, let alone I Was Made for Loving You. Does anybody not know I Was Made for Loving You? This song in other countries is like Bohemian Rhapsody is here. Like, this song is just, it's like Happy Birthday to Me. Everybody knows the song, the do-do-do. That lick, that riff is so catchy. I mean, even little babies knew it. Trust me, this is number 5. I Was Made for Loving You from Kiss. 1979's Dynasty LP. Number 4. Of course, Stairway to Heaven from Led Zeppelin from 1971. Who doesn't know? Anybody. Stairway to Heaven. It's always been talked about as the greatest song of all time. The greatest rock song ever written. Blah, blah, blah. They had a lawsuit where the band Spirit said they wrote it first. Led Zeppelin won it. You know, I've heard the other song. I hear the similarities, but I don't think it was a conscious steal. Anyway, who's going to disagree? Stairway to Heaven. It's on the radio every day. Just the title. I think more people know the title than the actual song. But this might even be number 5, because I think I Was Made for Loving You is even more popular than Stairway to Heaven at this point. But it's an argument. It's an opinion. That's what this show's about. Not about fights, about opinions and discussions. and the fun of rock music, alternative rock, heavy metal, hard rock, everything rock, all of it. I cover it all. Stairway to Heaven. Gotta, number 4. I can't see it not being on the list, let alone not high up there. So, to this day, still, Stairway to Heaven. Cocktail. All right. This brings us to number 3. Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana from 1991. Once you hear that first riff, it's been sampled, it's been tick-tocked, it's been chopped up, spewed out, rolled back into a bowl, and remade and covered and played on every station, pop radio, rock radio, metal radio. The video was all over the place. It changed the world. It was the last great rock genre, grunge. After grunge, you see the decline of originality in rock. This song, everybody knows it. Even the drum beat when it comes in is a hook. So, once again, can you disagree? I mean, you could, but it's pretty hard. It smells like Teen Spirit. It smells like Teen Spirit. So, can't disagree. That riff, I hear that riff and everybody, yeah, everyone knows it. Which brings me to number 2, which is even more popular, even more universal. You hear this, you can be any type of person, like any type of music, but when this riff comes in and that drum beat, you're like, oh shit, yo! Back in Black from AC/DC, 1980. I don't know anybody who doesn't know just that. Just if I said that to somebody the way I just did, I don't know anybody who wouldn't be like, oh yeah. Come on. Back in Black, of course, is the album after original lead singer Bon Scott died. My personal favorite singer. Different type of AC/DC. Slightly same, big open riffs. And their tuning is a little flat sometimes. But nothing that, but you really the rhythm of it is tough. That's the thing. Malcolm Young is the rhythm guitar player. Those little things he did, it sounds easy, but you have to have his touch. And that's why the riff, and that's why that song is so embedded in our lives. Back in Black is everywhere. It's everywhere. Iron Man commercial. AC/DC, think about it, is really the biggest rock band in the world. And who really doesn't like them? Who really says AC/DC, oh God, what's not to like? They don't stray from the formula. And they're all good records. I could find something good on all of them. But Back in Black, come on. We all know it. Which brings us to number 1. Now, I think of number 1 and I say, why is this number 1? Because it's not known as universally, really, I guess, for a younger demographic like these other tunes. It's definitely not Smells Like Teen Spirit, or Back in Black, or I Was Made for Loving You. It's more in the vein of Stairway to Heaven. It's classic rock. Classic rockers know it. It's on the radio all the time, but because of the riff, every guitar player, when they start to play guitar, even if they're not a guitar player, if they pick up a guitar and you're a stranger, the first riff you try to do is Smoke on the Water, Deep Purple, 1972. Bam, bam, bam. Who doesn't know that riff? How is that not the most popular rock song of all time? It is. Every guitar player, the first thing you learn, the first thing you try to do. I remember my cousins had my fake Kiss guitar, and what did they do? They didn't know how to play guitar, but they picked it up, and they tried to play that. Numerous people try to play it. That riff is the riff. So, you could say, well, maybe you should call the list Top 5 guitar riffs. Yeah, but the song Smoke on the Water holds up as number 1 because it just is. It just is famous. Everyone knows it, and overseas, once again, I'm sure more now than America, but just that lick. And these licks, these riffs from All the songs in the top 5, they've been sampled. That helps. They've been in commercials. That helps. And a few of these bands are still together and play these songs constantly still. So, hey, it's my opinion. It's my top 5 list. So, there it is. Once again, let's recap the top 5 from the bottom up. The top 5 most famous rock songs of all time. Rock. Number 5, I Was Made for Loving You from Kiss. Number 4, Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin. Number 3, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Number 2, Back in Black by AC/DC. And the number 1 most famous, not best, not my favorite, famous, as in popular, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Now pick up your guitar, or go pick up a guitar if you don't play guitar, and play that riff. And when you do it, you're going to say, I think he's right. I think he's right. Anyway, that's it. I don't think this was 20 minutes. That's my podcast. They'll get a little longer as it goes on because I'm going to read your lists. It'll change. There'll be a theme song. I won't have the records behind me maybe next time. Maybe I'll be in the river, or maybe I'll be in a forest. But this is the first one. I hope you enjoyed it. Join, subscribe, whatever you do. And another one will be coming soon with another top 5 list. Thank you all, and happy Friday.